Hey everybody, welcome to, excuse me, this morning's close-up. We didn't get to do one yesterday because our internet was out most of the day and we barely managed to keep the regular live stream running using our backup connection, which is not good enough. Our backup connection is not good enough to do our old, not 4K stream. On the 4K stream, it really looks bad, but it keeps us online and you can make out what the kittens are doing. So that's, it's all we can get out here. I've done everything I can. I've made every kind of phone call and begged and pleaded, and it's literally all we can get. So we do our best. That's my point. And thanks for sticking with us, even though it was pretty rough all day yesterday. DJ happened to be out and drove past whatever was going on. I think it was some trees that fell, but she said that there were all kinds of line vans and tree cutters and policemen out, and it was a big deal. So something big happened. So we weren't the only ones suffering from that. Anyway, like I said, I apologize for that. So this is going to be a slightly short close-up too, and I apologize for that. I did get a chance to take some photos of these kids yesterday, and it wasn't as many as I want, but then I think I need to start publishing photos more often and in smaller quantities, because some of our website pages take a while to load, just full of pictures. So I'll probably just go with what we got and then try to get more pictures more often. So that should be coming soon. We'll see if I get time to edit those and get those put up today. Also, I just was talking to our contact at the Danbury Animal Welfare Society, who is responsible for processing applications and getting the kittens adopted. Choosing adopters, I guess I should say. We all work together to get them adopted. You guys also help get them adopted. As I've mentioned before, it really means a lot to us just watching our show, if you can call it that. Just watching our channel on YouTube helps get our kittens adopted, because even if you don't do it, it increases our ranking at YouTube and more people see it and hopefully more adopters see it, and that's what we're all about. So, thank you for that. Anyway, I was just talking to Dawes, and the person at Dawes, Michelle, told us that she has adopters for all of the orange boys, except I don't think that she yet has an adopter for Port or for Millet. So still sort of pending on that front, and I hope that if somebody hasn't already put in an application for those, I think sometimes the processing runs a little bit behind, so if you already applied for them, sit tight. I'm sure you will hear from her in due time. But if you haven't and you were thinking about Millet or Port, I would definitely encourage you to go ahead and put in an application, which you can do also on our website, kitten.academy. As far as it goes, I think that if you have already been approved to adopt one of the orange boys, adding Millet wouldn't be a bad deal. Also, if you have already been approved for one of the orange boys, adding Port wouldn't be a bad deal. I don't know that Port and Millet together would be the best team. I think they would get along. They would have, a fine life together, but probably never going to be best friends. So I wouldn't shoot for those two if it were me. But, if that's your deal, you probably wouldn't go wrong. For her part, Port is so sweet and playful and fun, and she wants so much attention from me. She comes and just rubs around my ankles all day and wants me to throw her toys. And anytime I do, she just runs and plays fetch, and she's super cool. So you should really consider it. And Millet, I don't even have to say anything about. You all know how he's been. So I hope that somebody does help us out that way. Yeah, Mary Ellen Moore, as far as it goes, like if I had my dream team of Orange plus Millet, it would definitely be Sydney plus Millet. But frankly, he does get along with and plays with all of them now, including Ant. In fact, this morning I was watching him. He was grooming Puget. I think it was Puget. I didn't really see. It was either Puget or the other big floofer, Rotterdam. So he gets along with a whole bunch of oranges now. So anyway, that's enough about those guys, and we're not even going to get to go see them in today's close-up, so I'm going to plug that a little bit more when we do the close-up tomorrow, I think. But in the meantime, let's talk about these kids. First off, we tried to give them their first solid food today. This is the Royal Canin mom and baby cat, and we brought a little bit in here for them to all try, because we usually have some pretty good luck with that. Now, today is their 3-week birthday, if I'm not mistaken. So they're 3 weeks old, and that's very early to try to start them on the real food. Most of the kittens that we've had, I'd say average starting real food about 4 weeks. So 3 weeks would be very early. And some, they wait even longer than that. I think of, Millet is a great example. Millet didn't start on the real food until 6 weeks. And I had to tube feed him that whole time. So 6 weeks is not even all that unusual, though. So it could be that, we're tube feeding these kids for another 6 weeks, which we are still doing the tube feedings to supplement. I'm trying to cut back on them quite a bit so mom has more of an opportunity to nurse them. But I'm seeing real mixed success there. Sometimes I come in and they've all eaten from her, and I'm like, that is amazing. And other times I come in and it's just like she doesn't nurse them at all, and she does. So who knows what to make of it? As long as I keep helping out, they'll keep gaining and they'll be fine. They did just all eat this morning, though. They just went through their whole morning routine, which involves them getting some Clavamox right now. They've got one more day of that, which we're mostly doing prophylactically. We don't think there's anything wrong with anybody right now. And then we tried to give them the regular food. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention that of the regular food, nobody really was into it except Chevy. I think this is Chevy, right? No, this is not. This is herringbone. I have to look at the tail still to tell for sure. So this one is Chevy. Chevy, he did actually eat the food. He ate some of the food off my finger, and then he continued on to eat some of the food out of the bowl. It wasn't very much. I wouldn't expect very much. I didn't expect anything at all. But he actually did eat some. And he's got some teeth in, too, which is nice. So we tried to offer them all food, and he was the only one that was any kind of success. And then after that, I did the tube feeding, and then mom nursed them and groomed them for a while. And now it is sleeping time. So here we are. Also, we did the night before last, so the day before yesterday, the night before yesterday, yeah, I know what I'm trying to say. We did cut down the barrier in the box, or remove the barrier in the box, and give them a place out here where they can go with a new barrier. It's a little bit further out, the brown one there. So they can go all around out here. And if you've been watching yesterday, you will have noticed that they spent the entire time since the minute the box was opened, all the way until just a few minutes ago, they were out here on the wooden floor. They didn't go back in the box, not even for an instant, until this morning. I picked them all up to start moving them around, and I put them in the box so I could sweep up. And since then, they've been in the box again because I put them there, so that's kind of cheating. But I imagine that pretty soon mom's going to call them all back out again, and they will continue to be boxless kittens out on the floor. It seems like that's the way that they like it and the way that mom likes it. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I just would expect you to see a lot more of it. Speaking of their mom, she's been taking excellent care of them. And I think she spends more time with them when they get to come out on the hardwood floor, because that's what she likes to do. So there you go. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at the whole group one at a time. We'll go in order real quick. We're going to wake them up. I know. You thought you were going to sleep. So we're going to go easy, though. So this is our girl, Paisley. Hi, little Paisley. And let's take a quick look together to see if Paisley will show us whether she has any teeth yet. Do you? Will you show us? She's not going to want to show us. She wants to go back to her nap. Well, you got a cute face, though. I hear a lot of fighting and hissing going on out there. Well, she's got little tooth buds. Those are still covered up a little bit, so she's not quite showing on the fangs yet. Of course, it's usually the teeth right in the front that show up first, and I can't get a good look at those because she doesn't want to play this game. All right. Okay, Paisley, that's fine. We'll check you out later on. Then Basket Weave, our little gray tabby boy. Hi, bud. There we go. He actually does have a tiny bit of color on his face, but it's impossible for me to see in person. The camera picks it up sometimes. The only reason I know it's there at all. And he is not going to show us his little mouth either, is he? They are all very resistant now because I've been tube feeding them so much. They're like, I'm not going to open my mouth. You're just going to stick that tube in there, and I don't want that anymore. All right, well, we'll give up on that part of the plan. But this is Basket Weave. Hey, bud. There we go. All right, so that brings us to number 3 would be Chevy, who's all the way in back here. He's the biggest one. He's also been, I think, sort of the not just the biggest, but sort of the most physically mature the whole time. And you can tell that in a lot of ways, but like I said, he was also the only one today that would eat food, and he definitely has little teeth showing, which he probably won't show to us. I guess he will a little bit. There you go. I hope you can see it a little. There you go. I can't see it because chat's covering up my whole screen, but there we go. So that's Chevron. I've been calling him Chevy. Hi, bud. Oh, I know, but you're too cute. How can I resist touching your little belly? Oh, it's so cute. Okay. So that brings us to Herringbone, who has been sort of the runt of the litter, but he's doing fine, of course. He's just the smallest. So it's funny that the biggest and the smallest are twins. Chevy, you're going away from everybody now. Is that what you want? There you go. So this is little Harry, Herringbone. And he's a super cutie, too. Sputnik, they all had their eyes open at just about 1 week, with, again, Chevy being the first. He's the first to all those kinds of physical milestones. I think he was, wasn't he? And Herringbone being, I think, the last, right? Yeah, Herringbone was the only one that climbed out of the box on his own, and he did it like 4 times or more. In fact, once he did it, I didn't even know. He got all the way out of the box while I wasn't even in the room and walked around for a while and then climbed back into the box. And he's the only one to have done that. So that's pretty impressive for our little tiny runty kitty. It's Herringbone, and I spell it Herry because of Harry. So Herringbone is definitely an explorer, and also I don't know, they all now have started to kind of run up to me when I come in. They're being really cute. No, they're not just mimicking mom. They definitely know how to scratch themselves, and you'll see quite a bit of that around this age. Their ears tend to be a little bit itchy. That's normal. I think it's because they're just sort of starting to get them open, actually. The ears, like the eyes, they're born without them being fully ready to go, and that's why they look so cute when they're tiny little babies. The ears are all kind of folded up. But you can see that they're starting to turn more into regular old mature cat ear shapes now, and they're likely to be a little bit itchy, so you're going to see some of that. They also know how to groom themselves almost right from the start, but definitely now you'll see them experimenting with that. You'll see them licking on their own paws or each other's paws or their bellies, and also lots of play biting. You're going to see some of that too. I think there's some going on right in front of us. So really starting to learn and exhibit all of the sort of cat and kitten behaviors that you expect now, but also being very clumsy about it. So let's see, I think that we left off Argyle, who is our black and white kitty right here. This is Argyle. And right from day one, oh, he's just asleep. Oh, sorry, did you just wake up? You were already sitting up and then you woke up? Right from day one, he's been the biggest complainer, and he hasn't stopped with that. He tends to be the one that wants to yell and struggle and resist whenever he's doing anything that is the slightest bit that he doesn't want. Fortunately, Mom seems to have caught him for grooming at a moment when he's half asleep. Probably a good idea. I think he's just going to fall right back asleep. Yeah, oh, what a cutie pie. They're all very cute. Yeah, his eyes are very obvious. They all have the same blue eyes, but it shows up a little better, I think, against his black fur, and the white there really picks it up, doesn't it? They only have the blue eyes as they're kittens. And then when they get to be a few weeks older, you'll start to see that change into whatever color they're going to have as adults, which is very rarely blue. I think maybe we've had like one or two blue-eyed cats that have maintained it ever. And they're usually the ones that are mostly white, I guess. But they all start that way. Aw, brothers. So sweet. That was sweet. Now he's just climbing on top. Just pile on, that's fine. Brother makes a good pillow. Well, I think I've covered just about everything I need to for now. We're not going to get out to see the oranges, but you may be able to catch them on the regular Kitten Academy live stream. So check that out if you are jonesing for some oranges. Maybe you need a little extra vitamin C. And just, to repeat my request, I do think that we still need to find adopters for millet and for port, and there's no reason that you couldn't add those on if you've adopted or will be adopting one of the oranges. Something to think about. Or if not, you can still apply on our website, kitten.academy. And very soon, I will be posting some pictures of these guys over there. I have got them all saved up. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I get around to that sooner rather than later. I think that's about it. Thanks again to all of you for joining us to watch. Thanks so much. Just like I said earlier in this close-up, just the fact that you watch helps us get these kittens adopted. Whether you can adopt them or not, you help people find us that can adopt them, and that's what we are all about. So we appreciate it. You guys are the biggest part of helping us out with that project. And nothing. That's it. We're done.